nature is healing. As for the first time in 25 to 30 years, Marvel is planning a swimsuit issue where there are many buxom babes and rock hard men will be on full display. I love that. Look, Captain America's rock hard nips. Oh, God help me. But we've got Thor as well, hamming it up or hammering it up. Thor sure packs a wallop. God, I miss the 90s. I really do. There was so much more room for levity back then, where you could do silly things like this and have it be somehow more tasteful than today. Well, particularly compared to certain other things that their competitor is currently doing. If we're gonna thirst trap, at least let's do it in a, tasteful way, rather than Harlequin fartacular. But this miracle does come with a little bit of a caveat right here, as this is not something that Marvel simply decides to do on their own. In fact, there have been 2 or even 3, I think, other attempts to reinvigorate their beautiful buxom babes for summer before, but each time the attempt has been cut short in its track by, well, feminist intervention, let's be honest here. Marvel usually hasn't commented on why the swimsuit issues were cancelled, but we know. We all know, just by looking at the date, we all know why. Yes, you can't have beautiful women in the current year, particularly not 2019. I'm surprised they even had the idea back then. No. This is 100% Marvel Rivals. Swimsuit skin teased as Marvel preps for summer-themed comic book special. So this is of course the actual Marvel comic book, which had a fair few little images of its leaked to so far, but the only reason this is in existence is because of Marvel Rivals, getting ready to, well, sell swimsuit skins for a lot of money. This is not Marvel's finally going, oh, crap, we have an entire lineup of literally physically perfect, super athletic hot women and beefcake men that could earn us as much bank as we would ever desire. No. This is China grabbing Marvel by the ankles and dragging it, kicking, screaming, clawing and resisting every inch of the way towards profitability. Personally, I'd rather they didn't, honestly, and just allowed Marvel to continue to seppuku itself as it has been trying to do now for quite some time. And as DC is continuing to do. As originally, the entire Marvel thing was intended as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek parody of Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazines. To go like, oh, okay, we can do that too, in essence, which is why a lot of it was intended to be humorous. Like, the single most one-sided competition of tug rope, pull rope, I don't even know what this is called anymore, in human history, with Thor, Hercules, She-Hulk, and Captain America on one team, and regular dude, regular girl, regular woman, except for, magic nonsense, and a dude in power armor on the other side. Did a US agent have superpowers? I don't remember anymore. And Namor, he's fairly tough, but comparatively, this is extraordinarily unfair, as is probably demonstrated by the fact that they are getting dragged so hard the ground is splitting beneath them. But this was always intended to be a little bit humorous, and indeed, of course, it's also supposed to be provocative, titillating, and alluring, of course. I mean, why would you do a swimsuit special otherwise? Because back in the day, we obviously understood that hot women sell things, as China now understands. And this is where the broader problem comes in, isn't it? Because I have heard, and very much so understand, the position of, I don't care how many hot women they bring back, I am not simping for China. My God, I sympathize. I absolutely do. China is not a good place. It's not a good influence on the West by and large. However, this is actually kind of what I was talking about several months ago, when I was talking about how attempting to boycott Chinese games now is in essence pointless. We do not have the cultural capital to draw the normies away from the first attractive female characters they've seen in 10 years. No amount of Chinese bad is going to get the average normie to turn down Psylocke or Black Widow in their full glory. No amount of Tiananmen Square nonsense is going to get anyone to turn down Aurora Monroe at the height of her hotness. It just ain't happening. Not after 10, 20 years of drought, it is not. However, this is also the benefit. Whilst China will obviously benefit from this enormously in the short term, and they're already even attempting to begin planning on capitalizing out on the long term by switching enormous amount of resources over to their own games industry. However, this is actually an excellent opportunity for the West to learn. I am actually surprised by how quickly Marvel kind of picked up on this. Now, bear you in mind, one special issue does not set any sort of a trend. This isn't like a complete U-turn or anything. It's a toe in the water to see, okay, I mean, China literally released a figure of, Emma Frost, and suddenly 100,000 concurrent players extra. They seem to be onto something, so let's give them this and see what happens, right? And what happens is that they'll sell copies for the first time in 10 odd years. If we are lucky, then Western comics and eventually the rest of Western entertainment will suddenly realize, wow, hot females and hot men sell copies? They move comics, they move games, they move movies. Well, we'd had never thought about that, and if they learn this lesson quickly enough, we might even be able to completely avoid the entirety of the Chinese takeover and becoming the cultural hegemon. As again, right now, people aren't streaming to Marvel Rivals because it's Chinese. They're streaming to it because it's the only place where they can get attractive women anymore. The Marvel IP is still, of course, very much so American, and is going to take many, many years for China to build up an equivalent industry, especially as they're kind of lagging behind because they didn't understand how weak America was culturally. They haven't created much of their own mythos, and the mythos they do have is positively ancient and painfully outdated. They can't really bring over, Wukong overmuch or Romance of Three Kingdoms to the West, not without a great deal of preparatory states, and even then, it's big in China, but it's never been big anywhere else for a reason. The West very much still has an opportunity here to maintain its cultural dominance, which is the absolute good thing, so long as they actually learn this lesson quickly. And I'm again surprised that it has gone as fast as it has, honestly. If Marvel looks at this, realizes this is something that actually moves copies, they might then start to turn around the rest of their industry. Now again, it's going to take time. It's going to need to find writers, artists, script writers for their movie bands, etc., to really begin revitalizing all of this. But if they can, which they will eventually, presumably, we are going to see an opportunity here for the West to rally and to regain the initiative before the East has an opportunity to fully get settled into this, again, situation of basic monopoly that they have right now. Marvel Rivals, once more, isn't succeeding because of some remarkable piece of Chinese technology or any particular major innovation. It's succeeding because it's the only one who gives people what they want. And I mean, this really kind of is a battle of two ills right here. On the one hand, I don't really want Marvel Rivals to succeed. Or Marvels in general, more correctly. I think Marvel has definitely squandered their opportunity by a mile now, and I would have preferred to see something else rise in its place, and alternative comics are very much so doing so, but for the time being, we've kind of just got to, deal with the hand we've been dealt. And as asshole as Marvel has been for a very long time now, I'll still take them over China. I'll still take literally Disney over China. So I view this as a straight up, universal, undisputable win that I'd like to see more companies begin to capitalize on. Not like that, DC. Please stop. But like this. Because the entire thing that comics, etc., weren't for women back in the day is a complete myth, and we all know it. I mean, hey, look at this. The good old-fashioned art style. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone is peak physique. Every man is a ripped beefcake. This was always for everyone. Everyone that wanted to participate, mind you. Not for those who actually wanted something completely different, but figured they could maybe push some politics by taking this thing over. So, Marvel swimsuits, 100% good. The fact that it's done near purely to benefit Marvel Rivals, 100% bad. But so long as the lesson can be learned, I am surprisingly optimistic, honestly. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon. Till then, have a good day.